I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
And this is Midwest Mics. We're coming back at you with the playoff preview. This episode will be released on Thursday morning, September 7th. And tonight we have NFL football. NFL football will be back tonight. It's finally here. We made it through another off season. Pretty exciting stuff.
It's good. It's crazy. It's going to be a lot of fun. I actually think this game is going to be a lot better than some people think. I think it's going to be a really good game. Especially if the Chiefs, it's Thursday morning, I don't know what's happened. I'm recording different day. Chris Jones, as far as I know, in the past he's not showed up yet, so I think that actually will make a difference. I think the Chiefs are still going to win, but it's going to be crazy. And then we got it's all just, we'll have college football all day Saturday, and then we'll have NFL Sunday and Monday night game, which Sunday night is Cowboys-Giants.
Cowboys-Giants Sunday night, yep.
And then is Monday like what they've been doing where they have a
doubleheader? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But anyway, so we'll go through that. Today we're doing our playoff predictions, playoff picks. We'll choose who we think is going to the playoffs, and then we'll also go through who we think is playing in the championship games, and then who's winning the Super Bowl. So it's just the one game, I think, huh?
Yeah, just the one game.
Yeah, actually a good game too, right? Bam, Bills-Jets.
Yeah, Bills-Jets.
You'll know right away. We'll know right away what kind of Aaron Rodgers we got.
Yep. Bills-Jets.
I think it's actually going to take Rodgers. I think they're going to win. I think it's going to take Rodgers like four games to get full chemistry.
Yeah.
Not saying they're going to lose or he's going to be terrible. Nothing like that. But like the timing and all that stuff, I think they'll still get it. And he'll have it with a couple of he already has it with Lazard. It'll be just a couple of the other guys or whatever. He'll have to figure that out. So
yeah. So Gritty couldn't make it tonight. He is actually already at Arrowhead. So he's just out there chilling, waiting for Thursday. That's how excited he is.
Yeah, he lives there. He lives in the parking lot.
Yeah, he's just chilling.
He's like that guy when everybody shows up. And you're like, "Who's that?" And like the dumpster opens up and Gritty's like crawling out. And you're like, "You live here?" He's like, "Maybe."
Yeah, maybe.
I do.
So yeah, we're gonna do playoff predictions tonight. Championship games. We're gonna start in the AFC. And what I did is I made a top 10 list for my teams. So, obviously top 7 make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So my 7 team, well, I'll say my 8, 9, 10 real quick and then go with the 7th. But I have the Chargers, Titans, and then Miami, Pittsburgh are tied at 10th for me. So not going to talk a lot about those. We've already talked about those teams when we did the show for those divisions. But it's coming in at 7 for me. Getting that last wild card spot is going to be the Denver Broncos. I think Sean Payton does get them over that hump. I don't think that they compete for an AFC West title this year, but I do think with some of the players that they brought in, I think Russell Wilson will be better in year 2 in Denver. I think the chemistry will be better. And so, yeah, I'm going Denver to get in the playoffs at number 7.
Okay.
No wild card.
Yeah, so I actually feel like the Broncos may improve by 1 or 2 games maybe, but not by much. I actually think Russell Wilson's kind of washed. The reason I don't think Sean Payton's washed. I think Russell Wilson is all the way washed. And the reason I say that is because Geno Smith came into Seattle last year and had a better year than Russell had already. He already had more yards than Russell had ever thrown for Seattle. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, was Russell washed, or is Pete Carroll that good of a coach? Maybe a little bit of both ways. But I think Russell, I don't know. He's been a weirdo ever since he got married to Sierra. Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. That's why I got my doubts on them. They do have a talented roster, and they have a really good defense. So if they're going to win, it's going to be like those 20 to 13 games.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they went over-unders last year, I think it was like 13 unders and 4 overs last year. So, I mean, if you're looking at that type of stuff, Broncos,
and their defense
unders
is
are the way
still
to
really
go.
good.
Yes, they do. They have fantastic corners, and their defense is really good. If they get injured, they're hurting. But yeah, Broncos are solid at 7. I don't have them there. But
Yeah. So who do you have at 7 then?
I have actually. You know what? I'm looking at Gritty's list. So I'm trying to remember mine. Gritty's list and my list are the same.
Okay.
So I have the Chargers also at 7.
Okay.
I actually think they'll be really improved, and I think they've improved for Kellen Moore. And I actually think some things fall a couple of different ways for the Chargers last year. I think they actually ended up winning some games. Now, not the playoff game because they blew that, but I got the Chargers actually kind of being just barely improved over last year and just making the playoffs at 7.
Okay. So you and Gritty have Chargers. I got the Broncos. Like I said, I got Chargers at 8. So I don't think we're far off on the Chargers. 6, I got the Ravens.
We do too.
I'm high on Lamar Jackson. I've talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be much improved. I think getting him Odell Beckham is going to help his passing offense a little bit. Having another dynamic receiver there, and I don't think they have to ask him to run the whole route tree, but it gives them somebody who can take the top off of defense.
They drafted Zay Flowers too.
Yep.
Another guy who actually a lot of Chiefs fans liked. But we didn't end up getting him, but he's good. New offensive coordinator. Supposedly the offense is going to be more about throwing the ball, running the ball. So we'll see if the evolution as far as Lamar keeps going. I don't know. What I do know is that Harbaugh is a fantastic coach. I know they almost beat the Bengals last year in the playoffs without Lamar Jackson. So I feel like adding Lamar in is going to be good. Deep team, well-coached team. If somebody said, hey, man, like a couple things go different ways and the Ravens will win the division and the Bengals won't, I would say, yeah, sure. Like it wouldn't be like a shocker, right? Not a shocker. The shockers for the North would be like if the Steelers won or Cleveland won. Then you say, okay. But if the Bengals or Ravens, I think there would be like one game apart. I really do. So for me, it's Ravens at 6.
Okay.
And Gritty.
Yeah, 5, I got the Jets. I don't have the Jets winning their division, as we talked about.
Yeah.
The second-place team in that division. I'm with you. I could see the Jets kind of having a slow start and that keeping them out of the division race.
Yep.
But I still think they're going to be a really good team. And, again, they're a playoff team. And, Aaron Rodgers, once he kind of settles in to the offense, and he's familiar, obviously, with Hackett, his offensive coordinator. They were together in Green Bay before Hackett took the Denver job. So, the Jets.
Yeah, so, we got to pretty much switch. So, for Gritty and I, we got Bills at 5. Same kind of thing, though. I can see the Bills winning the division. I think the Jets are going to get hot, and towards the end of the year, I think they're going to go on a run. I don't think that carries into. I actually don't think that carries into the playoffs. I think they hit the playoffs and they end up losing to whoever they play. But that's not one of those things where it's like Buffalo and Jets, to me, interchangeable.
Yeah.
Buffalo wins, whatever. Buffalo's kind of a weird team to me because it's last 2 years or just last year. It's like Josh Allen's responsible for like 50 giveaways?
Something like that, yeah.
Pretty high. And actually kind of reverting back to what he was doing before. He was with Dable. And so I don't know if there's I think there's a correlation with that. I also think there actually is issues with they are having issues with Diggs. I think that's real. Not saying they can't work it out or whatever, but
yeah, he's kind of unhappy.
Yeah, on the flip side of that, for Buffalo, they typically have a top 5. Most of last year, top 5 defense and top 5 offense. Right? Overall, they're really the roster. Pat the GM on the back. They put together a really, really deep roster, really nice team. And like I was talking, there's a lot of you talk on Facebook or whatever, and a lot of guys are like, Bengals, Bills, Chiefs. A lot of guys talk a lot of trash, whatever. But I was on a Chiefs one. I said, hey, it would not surprise. I mean, Josh Allen winning one ring in his career would not be a shocker. Him and Burrow, they get one ring. I mean, I want Mahomes to get all of them, but if they each get one, whatever. I'm like, or Josh Allen playing the Super Bowl. That's not gonna. So, oh my God, I can't believe it. Josh Allen's a really good quarterback. I mean, I have him at probably at 3, worst case 4 or 5, something like that. But he's right there for me. So Buffalo at 5.
All right,
our 4 is probably the same. Right?
Yeah, 4 Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I mean, that division, is probably the worst division in, the league. Jacksonville's the best team in that bad division, so they win that. But they come in at the 4 seed, behind the other 3 division winners. Wild
card on that is another team that wouldn't shock you if they somehow figured out a way to win 9 or 10 games would be Tennessee.
Yeah,
because I think Vrabel is a good coach. I think, like I was talking about Buffalo, about their GM putting together the roster really nice. I think the GM for Tennessee's did an awful job. So that being said, with Jacksonville being the 4, I actually could easily put them as a 2, only because their schedule is cake. I think they go 6-0 in their division, and then I think they got to figure out, if you're going to get number 1 seed, then you figure out another 6 wins, wherever that may be. I'd have to go through their schedule, but Jacksonville, just because of the weak division they play in, will get a leg up on maybe getting some home field.
Mm-hmm.
They'll get home field being at 4. But I think they have a chance because Cincinnati and Buffalo and even the Chiefs playing the Chargers and maybe even the Broncos, they might beat each other up a little bit. And so it may knock them down. So I've seen scenarios where Jacksonville gets the 1 seed just because their
schedule's easier.
The schedule is so soft.
Yeah.
You know who actually had that before was Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee was the 1 seed when the Chiefs went to the Super Bowl first time.
Yeah.
So it's nothing crazy. So your 3.
Yeah, 3 is Buffalo.
Okay.
For me, like I said, I got the Jets at 5. I think the Jets start a little slow. Buffalo wins the division. I do think that I think Buffalo is on the downhill slide of kind of their run.
Okay.
But I just don't, like I said, I think the Jets start slow, and so they don't overtake them this year. But I think if Aaron Rodgers does come back for a second year in New York, then,
I think chemistry will be there.
Yeah, the chemistry will be there for them to win the division a year from now. But so I think Buffalo's kind of, started their descent.
I found a discrepancy on me and Gritty's AFC. So he has Bengals at, or we're at 3. He has Bengals at 3. Well, I have Buffalo at 3, so we're all different around 3.
Okay.
I can't speak to why he has the Bengals at 3, but I know, you know what? He's not always really nice about Joe Burrow.
No, he's not.
So he's a little biased on that guy. I mean, it's
fine.
all good. Burrowhead stuff.
Yeah.
I have Buffalo at 3. Oh,
Yep.
I'm sorry. I have the Jets at 3. My bad.
Yeah, so you had Buffalo at 5.
Yeah, I actually think what happens is I think that the Jets maybe 2-2, 2-3 to get started, and then they go on this crazy tear.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Yeah, we'll see. And the thing is, too, I actually agree with most people when they say, well, there's a lot of guys that say, I've heard people say that they think the Jets are going to be horrible, and I've heard people say, the Jets are going to be lights out. I actually think it's one or the other. Like, I don't. It's either going to be great or it's going to be whatever. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers, just that the numbers last year is not great. Then you have to say how much of that was his team, how much of that was just him being unhappy, how much is that him on the floor not getting along. Because it's not. I mean, it's well known that him and the front office were at odds.
Yes.
Real bad.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting to see where this all goes. He seems much more comfortable playing in New York and playing with I feel a lot more talented guys. Green Bay drafts pretty decent, but it's a well-known fact they don't do free agency, which is kind of crazy. But they just don't. They draft pretty solid, but they don't do free agency.
Yeah,
so.
they're not really. Yeah.
So then your 2 is
Cincinnati,
like Cincy, and then Gritty's 2 is the Jets. My 2's with you. It's on Cincy.
Mm-hmm.
I
still think they're a really good team, complete team. I mean, Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. And quarterback play is just so important. And so, yes, they have a tough schedule, but again, I think they play well enough to be the number 2 seed.
You know, a lot of times too that with Cincinnati, people talk about Joe Burrow quite a bit, but their defense is actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really nice. They played Kansas City down to the wire last year for the conference championship. I mean, it's one of those things. I think Burrow and Mahomes right now are neck and neck, and you could throw a Jalen in there, and you could throw a Josh Allen. They're kind of hovering around, but right now, to me, the top two are Burrow and Mahomes, which kind of leads us to our one. Probably both have the Chiefs.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not, the thing about it is not a lot to say to where you have to justify that pick.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best team in football. They have the best player in football. I do think that if Chris Jones is missing long term, that is going to hurt the rush defense more than the pass defense.
100% agree.
Now, I think you have to give Veach a little leeway here. I think he knows what he's doing. I mean, obviously he's built the roster, and it's got 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 championships. But again, I think the Chris Jones, like where guys like Gritty say, just trade him away. Like, it's not that easy. Like, he's a dynamic player who really helps your defense. So, but I still think that they're good enough to be the number 1 seed in the AFC yet again. I mean, what else is there to say really about the Chiefs?
Nothing else. I mean, it's Mahomes, it's Kelsey, it's Reed. Reed's done nothing but win since he's been in Kansas City. I mean, I don't, like you said, I think the only downfall is Chris Jones. Possibly Chris Jones, not playing for however long he's going to. But after that, we'll I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that's it. AFC's pretty top heavy.
Yeah, it is.
And really, NFC kind of is too. So
what's your AFC championship game?
AFC championship, easy. Chiefs Bengals.
Chiefs Bengals. Don't overthink it.
No, I'm not. I mean, I think rematch. I have a lot of rematch stuff from last year.
Yeah. What was Gritty's again? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Dang it. Let me pull it up.
While you're pulling that up, I'm going to go Chiefs Ravens. I think that again, Burrow's going to take just a little bit of a step back. I think Lamar Jackson's going to be better. I got him at the 6th seed, but I still think that they get there, they play the Chiefs. They'll come here to Kansas City and play the Chiefs. But the Chiefs win the AFC Championship game. Here at home, they defeat Baltimore. So, you've got Chiefs Cincinnati. Chiefs win it.
Yeah, and then Grady's got Grady's Chiefs Jets.
Chiefs Jets.
And then he's got Jets. Or are we talking? We're not talking. I guess we're not talking Super Bowl yet, but he's got Chiefs Jets. As far as
no, I said the Chiefs. Chiefs will win the AFC Championship game.
Okay, he's got Chiefs. I got Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
Another thing too, I don't know. I don't have to justify nothing on it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I'd like to see. You know what? I actually would like to see. It'd be really fun and entertaining to see a Lamar Jackson become a really prolific passer.
Mm-hmm.
That would be crazy.
And that's what I'm banking on. Again, him getting to the AFC Championship game, playing against the Chiefs, but not having the firepower to beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. What's funny about that? Before we start the NFC, I really do feel like a lot of people are sleeping on Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's talking about them.
Yeah,
and it's like that's probably right where they want to be.
And like I said when we did the division preview for the AFC North, I think it's kind of one game that separates them and Cincinnati.
I
that
agree.
Division. I mean, I think it's going to be a really close race.
Same thing for me on Buffalo Jets.
Yeah, really close. We'll flip over to the NFC. Again, I'll kind of give my 8, 9, 10. Minnesota, Giants, and Atlanta for the NFC. So
I forgot that you're down on Minnesota like I am.
Yeah, I am. I mean, they're still the 8th team in the NFC, so just one game out of the playoffs. But getting the 7th seed for me is the Rams.
Oh man,
which I know for you, you're off the Rams.
yeah, really bad. I think they're going to be really bad.
But I think the Rams are going to sneak in and get that 7th seed. And again, like we talked about, in the NFC, I think that 8 wins, 9 wins get you that last wild card spot. You don't have to get 10, 11, 12 wins like you do in the AFC.
Yeah, we got somebody last year. Well, a division winner at 8.
Yeah, a division winner last year at 8.
And I think the Giants were 9 wins, right?
Yeah. So
9 wins get you.
Yeah. So I think so. Yeah, I'm going with the Rams, and I know that's way off from what you're going to say, but
yeah, I'm not going.
You're
Rams.
down on the Rams.
Yeah, I'm down on Rams. I actually think the Rams are probably I got them as the second worst team in the league.
Race for Caleb Williams.
Yeah, I do. We talked about that on another episode. Yeah. But Gritty's 7 is Seattle.
Okay.
So, and I like Seattle too. I actually like them to make the playoffs. So I'll go with. I'll go ahead and roll. I don't remember my order. I had them written down, but I don't remember my order. Anyways, I'll throw Seattle at 7 also.
Okay.
I think Seattle's a wild card team. I actually think they're really good.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll and all that, and they're deep on defense, and receivers are nice. People kind of don't think about DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett being a nice, really, really nice one too. And you remember whenever you got to play them, you remember how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's where I'm at for that. So
yeah,
who's your 6?
So my 6, because I got Seattle winning their division.
That's right.
You guys have San Francisco, so
yeah.
Obviously we're going to be a little different there on the order. But yeah, 6 is where I got the 49ers coming in.
Okay.
Like I said, I got them getting second in their division, and so that puts them a little lower. But they're definitely a better team than the Rams. So, got them at 6.
Gritty 6 is Lions.
Okay.
Which is interesting to me.
So then he's got 2 teams from that.
Yeah, he has 2 teams from the north.
Oh wow.
Yeah, not me. I got 1. So my 6 would be the Giants. I think the Giants. I don't think the Giants go forward or backward or not. I think they're the same as they were last year. I think they're tough. I think Danny Dimes throws his 15 to 20 touchdowns. I think Darren Waller helps him quite a bit if he's healthy. But I think they're the same team. So 9-10 wins.
Yeah.
And then scoot in at 6. Tough to beat at in New York. But give me the Giants at 6.
All right. Number 5 for me is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay, I talked about it when we previewed the NFC East. Yeah. I am a believer in the Super Bowl hangover for the losing team. So Philadelphia takes a little bit of a step back this year.
Yeah.
Still a playoff team. They're still going to be really good. But I got them coming in at 5.
My 5's Dallas Cowboys. And it's not because they have a bad record or anything like that. I actually think they're going to have a solid record. I think they're a division winner, which obviously if I'm saying Dallas is at 5 and the Giants are my wild card, it ain't Washington I think is winning the division.
Yeah.
I think Philly's coming in to win the division. But so I'll put Dallas there, and I think Dallas still wins 10, 11, 12 games. And
also, I mentioned it last week, but they have not had a repeat division winner since like 2002.
Yeah, so it would actually make sense for Dallas to grab it.
So that's another reason why I'm staying on that.
Freaking Giants.
Yeah. Who was Gritty's 5?
Gritty's 5 is Philly.
Philly, okay.
So he actually agrees with you on that. He's with you. He's with you on that.
He's with me. So number 4, I got New Orleans.
This is where we all differ.
Yes, because we all had a different division winner.
Gary goes Saints because of Derek Carr.
Yep.
Gritty goes Bucks because why did he go Buck? He likes Baker.
Baker, yeah, and the defense. I think he said
the defense, and then the defense has a lot of all pros on there. The Bucks won't be. I don't think they have enough. Whatever they won, they had Brady last year and they won 8 games.
Yeah,
and they really didn't make any other improvements on the roster.
No.
So Bucks, I don't have the Bucks making the playoffs. You think the Bucks are going to be really bad, right?
Yeah, I do. I think they're going to be.
You're like where I think the Rams.
Yes,
so the Rams.
We're kind of opposite on the Rams Bucks.
For me, my 4. So I got Atlanta. Yep. I think actually the reason I choose Atlanta to win the South is because I think they have a great owner with Arthur Blank. And I think ownership is important for stability in an organization. I believe second-year head coach. I think stable organization. A lot of key pieces on offense and a lot of young guys, young team. I really just feel like there's not a lot of unknowns about Atlanta. Like it's just like, yeah, I know what I'm getting. Like it's an 8-9 win team. Could be 7. There's 7 last year.
And I mean, I got Atlanta at 10 in the NFC. So
and I think that I actually think Derek Carr. We talked about it last one of the last shows. There's a stat out where Derek Carr is with a new OC. His first year with the new OC, he doesn't do very well. Second year, he does better. So I think this is a crap year for him, or not a great year, and then he ends up being better next year. So.
But we do all agree that the 4 seed is the winner of the NFC South.
Yes.
We're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
So moving on up, number 3, I've got Detroit. I talked about on their preview show that I think they win the NFC North. I'm down on Minnesota. I think they're kind of on the downhill slide of where they are. I think Green Bay is not going to be very good. We don't know Jordan Love. Big question mark there. And so, I think it's Detroit's time to win that division.
Yeah, I'm actually...
they're my number 3.
Gritty's 3 is Dallas. And, dang, he's really high on the Vikings. My number 3 is also Detroit. 10, 11, 12 wins.
Yep, somewhere in there.
Same thing. I'm down on the Vikings. I'm down on the Packers. I'm down on the Bears. As much as I actually think it would be very entertaining if the Bears were good. Like, I would love to see the Bears and Lions be fighting for this division. If Justin Fields actually became what people think he can be. But the problem with Fields is, to me, 5-20 as a starter. And actually, to me, his throwing is, I think his legs are phenomenal. I think his throwing is not great. I actually got to see him a few times because there was a couple times where I bet on the Bears. It was like a time where I bet on them. It's like they were playing Dallas. It was like plus, it was high, man, like 17 or 14 or something. I'm like, all right. And Dallas smoked them by 40. And Fields looked horrible. And I'm like, oh, dude. But they've actually made that roster a little bit better. And then DJ Moore. So I'm still down on Fields, but it would be a pleasant surprise for Fields to be good. Because if I can get more entertaining football in my life, I'll take it. And Fields, a good Justin Fields or a great Justin Fields would be really entertaining.
It would be. I agree.
That being said, Detroit, I think Detroit wins the North.
Yeah. So Detroit, number 3 for you and I.
Yep.
Gritty's got Cowboys. Number 2, I've got Seattle. I think that they just finished last year with a lot of momentum, and they're going to keep that momentum going. Like I said in the division winner show, I think they win the division. They steal it from San Francisco. And they have the second best record in the NFC.
I'm opposite on you. I'm San Francisco at 2. I think they're gonna be really good. My only problem with San Francisco is now that supposedly they've traded away Trey Lance, so they have a lot of faith in Sam Darnold as the backup. Well, as far as I can remember, quarterbacks get hurt for this team. They just do. Jimmy G gets hurt and.
Kaepernick dealt with injuries.
Purdy, Smith, they just get hurt. I don't know if it's the field. I don't know what it is. Anyways, can Sam Darnold keep him going? I don't know. Maybe, because they are very much a run-heavy team, and a lot of everything they do is built on runs and screens and a lot of mismatched stuff. And they have a lot of little different guys that actually can get mismatches on you. Debo, McCaffrey, Kittle, Ayuk, a lot of different guys on this team that can do a lot of different things. And then Brock Purdy's actually got a little bit of wheels on him too. So I'll take San Francisco at 2. I feel pretty confident about that. So,
all right. And my number 1 is the Dallas Cowboys. Like I said, I think 13, 14 wins for this team. They improved the offense, in my opinion, by getting rid of Kellen Moore. And they added a third quarterback to that room. And so, this will be the first time, like I said last week too, that, since Dak has been a professional with the Dallas Cowboys, that Kellen Moore is not in his quarterback room. as a player, his quarterback coach, or his offensive coordinator. So it will be some change for Dak, but I think that's going to be good, and that will cut down on some of his mistakes. And like I said, if there's a player in the NFL with more pressure on him than Dak Prescott, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I mean, playing for the Dallas Cowboys, where you have sports radio ready to just crush you
All the time, yeah.
all the time. They're pretty brutal. I stayed down there for when I was doing work for Corner Bakery. I listened to the sports radio down there, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Do you ever think KC is bad when they talk about it's not even close? Dallas is pretty hard on their guys. That being said, Gritty's number one is the Niners. Probably for all the same reasons I have him as my two.
Mm-hmm.
His two was the Vikings. I guess I didn't do his.
Yeah,
I didn't do his
he is
two.
higher on the Vikings.
He's really high on the Vikings. I think Vikings. The reason I think Vikings backslide is their defense. To me, is not very good.
Yeah, and I don't think they upgraded their offensive line either.
No, and that's not good for old man Cousins.
Yeah.
My number one's Philly. Actually, the reasons I like Philly is everything they did last year. I think they do the same thing this year. I think they do a lot of the same. Jalen Hurts has never given you any kind of indication he's not a hard worker or anything like that. And actually, Jalen Hurts, since he was in high school, every single year he's gotten better. He's gotten better when he went to Bama. He became a better runner. When he went to OU, he became a better passer. He goes to Philly. He takes over for he comes in for Wentz because Wentz is playing like garbage. Each game kind of improves a little bit. Plays last year, becomes better, and then I think this year will be even better. So continuous improvement. And I think Philly's roster is just super deep. They've drafted really well. A lot of guys on that team are nice. AJ Brown will have another nice year. Devontae Smith, really, really nice. So a lot of the same things that happened last year, I think it happened again this year with Philly.
All right. And then my NFC championship game is going to be the Cowboys and the Eagles. I do think that they are the two best teams, even though I got Philly down at 5. Obviously because of playoff seeding, that's the first wild card team or first non-division winner.
Right.
But I think Philly's the next best team. That game will be in Dallas. We get to see Dallas-Philadelphia for the third time in the season, and they will split the regular season meetings, and the Dallas Cowboys will beat Philadelphia Eagles to go to their first Super Bowl in 28 years.
Well, man, amazing.
Yeah.
Now,
Shocker. I picked.
Gritty's got Eagles Niners. I also have Eagles Niners.
Okay.
Don't really say too much. Same matchups as last year, and it'll be better this year because probably be able to throw the ball. But I have the result being the same.
Philly.
So yeah, who's your Super Bowl?
Cowboys Chiefs.
Mine is Chiefs Eagles rematch, and then I got Chiefs on top. I assume Gary has
Yeah, man. Cowboys
all day, baby.
all day. Come on. Maybe it's a homer pick. I don't know.
It's okay. I think my Chiefs is a slight homer
Yeah.
pick as well. Easy homer pick, just because of what we've been doing.
Yeah.
I don't want to act like a spoiled brat, where I'm like, every year it's going to be the same. No, it's not every year.
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl hangover. We lost the AFC Championship, but if that's the hangover, I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, I think it's a lot of the same. And I'm probably wrong, man, because NFL is kind of a crazy, crazy deal. But I have a lot of the same as last year. We'll see what happens. I really feel like your big question marks are Rodgers at the Jets. Does Lamar become a prolific passer
Mm-hmm.
in Baltimore with the new offense they're running? And, big questions on Cowboys without Kellen Moore. And then can the 49ers stay healthy? Stuff like that.
Yep.
South. And the thing is, you have question about the NFC South, but that doesn't have implications on Super Bowl champ. Some of these other questions do. Buffalo, Diggs and Allen, stuff like that. So I think it's going to be a really interesting year. me and Gary do love to bet and wager and stuff like that. I saw you already got a future on the boys.
I do have a future on the boys. I also bet a future on Micah Parsons being Defensive Player of the Year.
What'd that pay out?
6-1.
Is he the favorite?
7-1.
Is he the favorite?
I don't know. I think there was somebody ahead of him. Maybe Watt.
Could be TJ.
Yeah.
I could see who's Browns guy?
Garrett.
Dang, I could see Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Healthy Aaron Donald. So I can see all that stuff. I think it's gonna be a really good year and really fun. And hopefully, if you guys want to tweet out or send us messages about some of your predictions,
Yes.
or tell us how stupid we are, we're totally good with that. We'd like to get interaction.
Yeah, send us. Yeah, definitely. On Twitter, Facebook, wherever. Send us who you think the 7 teams are that make the playoffs in each conference. Let us know.
And I don't care if your opinion's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
put it out there. Why not?
Put it out there. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this NFL season.
Me too.
Obviously it's the best time of year. College football, as we're recording, on the 4th of September. We've had, 2 weekends of college football being back. And, Clemson tonight had a little rough showing against Duke. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the final is on that one yet.
It's not over yet.
But it's
Oh, it is over.
it is. What was the final?
Duke 28, Clemson 7.
Wow. That was opposite how I thought it would go.
That's crazy.
But yeah, you hit the under in that one, so that's good.
Big
for you.
time, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to hit it by that much, though, man.
Yeah, but yeah. So NFL season's back. Hit us on any social media platform. Let us know your picks, TikTok, all that stuff. But enjoy football. I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
This has been Midwest Mikes. We'll see you later.